morning, YouTube. Hope everybody's doing well. This is Thomas with Mr. Fix-All Home and Garden, Raleigh, North Carolina. I haven't done a video in about 3 weeks. Last one I did was when I had a couple of days off. We went to Carolina Beach and my restored 93 Zuzu Trooper rodeo. And we just had a blast being out there doing a little fishing, drinking a little beer, having some fun, kind of unwinding. Well, I want to just get right to it. First off, I want to thank all the subscribers that have chimed in the last 3-4 weeks. You know, the subscriber rate has gone, almost doubled, and thanks a lot. And of course now I've gotten over 10,000 views, and I appreciate that too. My kind of videos are a little different because it's more educational. It's mindset, things that you need to think about when starting your own small business. And I preached for at least 1.5 years since I've been doing these videos. I've got 40 of them up now, and they're all positive comments. Everything. I've got one negative comment throughout my entire video series. So thanks for that too. That makes me feel good that I'm out here just babbling on, and not giving you guys some credible information. So what I'm going to do here is I'm on another project, but I give you a hint. In the last 3 weeks, I have just been really tossed around by different people dropping my name to guys like, contractors. What's happening here in Raleigh is that we're finding that the guys are, making $9, $10, $11, $12 an hour. They're, these guys aren't craftsmen. They're laborers, and then a lot of the contractors in the area are putting a lot of faith in these kind of guys. And even the ones that they pay, $15, $20 an hour to, these guys are becoming extremely unreliable too. And I was just kind of shocked when, and I'm on a pretty big project here. I'll show you this in a few minutes. I just wanted to get this point across. This is a concept. This is just something you need to think about when running a small business. Your image, your footprint on the community. What are you doing, right or wrong? But you got to know what both those things are. Hopefully you do more things right than wrong, obviously. But apparently I've been doing some stuff right because, a contractor again called me up, and it was a referral from a customer of mine. In fact, the house that I'm on right now, this is the brother owns a roofing company, and he also does rehabs and remodels and then rents them out. Well, she dropped my name to him, and the first thing she said to me is to be honest with you, Tom, I don't know if he's going to want to pay your prices because you're expensive. I don't know if that was a compliment or, just poking, fun at me, saying that, we're hiring you, maybe we can afford you, but you're too expensive. And I told him quality is something that you pay for. Remember that. Quality is something you pay for, not something that you get from guys who turn wrenches or hammer or roof for $9 to $10 an hour. These guys are just not craftsmen, they're laborers. Remember that. Well, I told this contractor, I met him at this rehab, and he had to get this place ready to go because these people are coming in from Ohio. And they've already seen a place, and it was in a horrible state. It was a Section 8, which, delinquencies, it was already had the sheriff's notices on the house and everything. So we went in there and rehabbed this place, and he paid me my rate. I gave him a little bit of a discount, but not much. I just said, I told him face to face, I said, this is very unusual for a contractor hiring another contractor, and especially since this particular person is used to hiring $10 an hour guys. Well, he had 3 of them quit on him in one day. One got fired and 2 other quit. They just couldn't handle it. When I got on the job site, these guys, they realized what a pro can do, how much work I can pull off in one day. And, basically, and I'm not bragging, but I'm going to tell you right now, if I get on any job site I go to, whether I'm familiar with it or not, and even if the crew's been there for days, I'll walk circles around them, and I promise you, I'll be more productive. I don't talk, I don't chat. I just get right into it, and I start building, and fixing and repairing. And bottom line is that we got this house ready to go in 3 days. People moved in. I even went back on a service call just to make sure that these people were settled in and no issues arose. And of course, there were several little punch list issues that I had to deal with immediately. And I just called the contractor up and said, man, I'm over at your rental right now. The people are moving in, and I'm going to help them, get through the transition, of making sure that everything is working for them, And refrigerator blew up, I had to take and drag it out and throw it in the front yard and wait for Lowe's, come bring a new one, pick the old one up. It's that added extra service, that little extra mile that you go. And even though this contractor paid a top dollar for my services, he told me, he says, Tom, he goes, thank you, you're a professional. He goes, now I can see why you charge what you do. You're on time. You say and do exactly what you tell me you were going to do, and it's exactly that. I don't fudge. I don't skip. I don't take any shortcuts. When I do something, I do it completely right, or I don't do it at all. Just think about it that way. If I'm going to charge what I charge, and I charge quite a bit per hour, man-hour wise, but I'm bringing everything to the table: talent, skill, equipment, you name it. I bring it all to the table. Insurance, everything I need to keep the liability, keep the other guy's butt off the fire. And that's what it boils down to. And be able to make the kind of promises that this guy needs to get the job done, so he can make promises. Okay, there's your education for the day. Some mindset, some just insight on what you have to think about. The roles that everybody has to play around each other. And if you don't know what your role is, and you start making promises that you can't quite measure up to, you better do a checkup from the neck up, son, because it won't be long. You're going to be one of those guys that either get quit or get fired. And I've seen a lot of guys come and go in the last few weeks, man. I'm telling you, it's amazing that guys just don't want to work. And half of them are just, come on. If you say you've been in the business for 30 years and you're making $9 an hour, there's something wrong with you. You're drinking too much, you're partying too much, or you just don't give a damn about your career. Okay? That's my little stern talking to. Even though it's none of my viewers, none of my subscribers, you guys are all great guys. I appreciate you. But it's just what contractors run into on a daily basis when it comes to labor. And the guys who can pull it off, guys like me, guys like you, I'm telling you, they'll pay you. They'll pay you well to perform your trade. Okay? This house I'm working on right now, a gentleman works for a huge car company. He's the executive advertiser for this car company, and the company's big. I won't give them their name, but I'm going to tell you, I know who they are, and they're big. They got a lot of money. They're multimillionaires, the owners. And he has 9 rental properties in my neighborhood. And he's already turned me on to all this exterior rebuild. Now let's get into what I've done here. And I think this is noteworthy, so I'm going to show it to you. I've been, we're on a budget. I have to every weekend, calculate what I'm going to spend and what's the next phase of what this build is going to be. But just to give you a quick update, because I know this video is getting a little long, because I'm kind of doing a little ass chewing, a little ranting and raving, and I apologize for that, but I think it's important. But anyway, this is a multi-tier deck with a second floor, basically another deck above me. And what I've done is I've dug this entire thing out. I'm just going to flip this camera around. I'm going to start talking you through the soap build, okay? Here it goes. You can see all the stone pavers I've laid. Now this hill, and this was a hill, it went all the way up over here, and I dug it out. So you can see there's almost 20 inches of soil that had to come out of here to get this retaining wall in here and tear it down to where it's all flush and level. Now it took it's all shovel work, because this property is on a downhill slope, so there's no way to get any equipment in here. So it took me 3 days to dig out 5 yards of red clay. And if any of you guys know what red clay is like, it's not fun to dig out. But you can see I inlaid all this. There's 2.5 pallets, about 600 square feet here. Also did a lot of repair on the deck, which now he's authorized me to repair all this area right here. I'm going to have to remove, of course, those stairs, but you can see all the repairs I was making. And what he was doing, he was testing me. He was seeing if I can actually do carpentry work, because this guy, remember, doesn't know me from Adam. He just got my name on a referral, so I'm in the neighborhood, and he took a chance on me. So I went around, over a couple weekends, depending on their budget, and started just repairing things. But one thing led to another, to another, to another job, and I'm going to fill that in too. He's already authorized me to go ahead and put some more lumber in there, and I rebuilt all these stairs. And when he saw that work, this is where the craftsmanship came in. All the lines are perfectly straight. All the screws are, geometrically where they're supposed to be. This quarter octagon thing was, he just said, Tom, you know what you're doing. And of course, then he gave me the paver job over there, and now I'm laying in a sidewalk. So you can see, excuse me, one project leads to another project, leads to another project, which leads to a referral, which leads to more referrals, which leads to more work. And that's my message for today, guys. If you want to be a laborer, go ahead. There's plenty of guys out there pay you $9, $10 an hour and work you to death all day long, digging, hammering, roofing, plumbing, whatever, And you'll go home at the end of the day beat up. You'll be, wondering, what the hell have I been doing this for the last 10 years for and getting only $9 and $10 and $12 an hour? When you should be thinking about, how can I take my talent, my craft, and my trade to the next level? Remember, I always told you, you can either do your work quality here or set the standard up here. Now, I've chosen always to put my standard at the highest level, and I tell people that. That's the way I sell it. Quality, you have to pay for quality. And being that I've been at this almost going 40 years, I consider myself a true craftsman. Now, I'm not a craftsman at all things, but the trades that I know them very, very well. And I'm equipped. And that's the bottom line. So think about it this way, guys. And I always tell you to think about it this way because I want you guys to think like I think. If I can take a one-man sole proprietorship, an S corporation, and turn it into a $500,000 business in 3.5 years, that's gross. Of course, not net. But the bottom line is that one guy pulling off that much income, pulling off that much resources, and getting the kind of referral base that I got, the customer base that I got, the contract base that I've got, everything that's guaranteed. Remember, I work on pure guarantees. I don't wake up every single morning not knowing where I'm going or what I'm doing. It's all pre-planned, it's all set up, and I work strictly off email, nothing else. Somebody can call me and say, hey, I need you to come over. Great, I need an email. It's a paper trail, it's legal. It's something I can, if somebody questions me, who are you and why are you on this property? I say, here's the email inviting me here. So that's another tidbit for you guys. Well, YouTube, again, this is Thomas with Mr. Fix-All Home and Garden in Raleigh, North Carolina. And I'm going to tell you, this is a nice house too. It's about a $700,000 house. And this whole neighborhood's the same way. And funny thing is the house right next door over here is my year-round contract. And she's a nice older lady. And like I said, they just saw me in the neighborhood. And this has turned into work that's made me thousands and thousands of dollars in labor. So all the subscribers that have chimed in, thank you. All the viewers, all I can say is thank you for watching my videos. I, again, teach. I don't show. I'll just show you the beginning and end, of a project, the materials, the looks, just, what I do, the craftsmanship level that I work at. Then, hopefully one day, if you guys really want to get into this kind of work and build a company, build a reputation, then you'll have to sit there and make a lot of mental adjustments to your personality and figure out what's going to be that right thing for you, your name, your company, and what you stand for. Once you realize where you are wanting to go with your company, then you'll be able to become an intricate cog in your own wheel, pushing it always in the right direction. So, take your business in the right direction, get your head screwed on straight, be personable, be fair. But if you're good at what you do, charge the right amount of money for what you do. Remember, there's no fear in saying, hey, I'm worth X per hour, and I'm worth it. So be worth it. YouTube. This is Thomas with Mr. Fix-All Home and Garden signing out. Beautiful day in Raleigh. Next 5 days, absolutely beautiful. Of course, the homeowner here says, well, Tom, keep building. And that's what I plan on doing all week long. YouTube, have a great day.